Hello and welcome to Amsterdam, a city that's most famous for its beautiful canals, for the food and the cheese, and for most famously, the coffee shops where you can buy weed. As some of you may know, Canada is getting ready to legalize marijuana right now for recreational use. Right now it's just legal for medicinal use, and I thought that while we were in Amsterdam, it would be a great chance to take a look at a city that's been doing this for a while now, and hopefully there'd be some lessons that we can learn back home. A common misconception is that in Amsterdam, weed is legal, when in reality it's actually just tolerated. The rules are actually a little bit complicated and not quite as straightforward as I had been led to believe as a foreigner. Coffee shops are only allowed to have 500 grams of weed on them at any time, and they're technically only allowed to sell it, not to buy it. And so this creates a problem which I've heard referred to as the back door, where because the coffee shops have to be purchasing it illegally and they're only allowed to have 500 grams, it ends up being this sort of game where you have to replenish it as you sell it, because you're going to sell more than 500 grams in a day, especially in the city center with all the tourists. One of the coffee shops we interviewed actually referred to themselves as a sort of David Copperfield act, where it's sort of every time you open the drawer there needs to be full. So coming here, we were lucky enough to have two different coffee shops agree to speak with us, as well as the mayor's spokesman, Jasper Karman. Jasper wasn't willing to be on camera, but the Stud and Amsterdam Genetics, the two coffee shops, were. So, without further ado, let's see what they have to say.
My name is Sylvia Walter. I'm the owner of Coffee Shop Stud. I do it for a while, more than 20 years. I'm a smoker as well. For me is that important, because when you start a company, you have to do your homework. Sometimes you have to study for a doctor or something like that, and I was a smoker. And I was a smoker who I was in love for the plant. Of when I was hashish, or it was from Lebanon, or what we called in Holland onze nederwiet, the normal wheat. And so I started, and then it was the opportunity to buy this coffee shop, and it normally was open about 11 o'clock until I think 12 o'clock at night. And when I was starting, I was I want to do my own things about it, and so I did it for some things I think was very important, because I was a smoker. Now I know what we have to pay in Holland, and that is very difficult. We call it de achterdeur. It means you sell it on the back door because it's illegal, and I can sell it in front, and now it's legal. It's really stupid rule. But that's how I start my business. And when I knew the price of what I have to pay in the back door, I thought by myself, okay, now I'm gonna stand on the other side of the bar, because I was a smoker as well. And because I was a smoker, the power of my coffee shop is, I think, we sell quality for a reasonable price.
Yes. A lot of value for money.
The only reason is why, because I'm a smoker as well. Okay, you have to make profit. It's normal. In every business you have to make profit. But it was not the most important thing for me.
Hi, I am Marlies. I work for Boerenjongens Coffee Shop with an S. Of course, this is a Boerenjongen. Boerenjongens means farmer boys when you translate it. It's a Dutch word and it says a lot, of course, as we sell some greens in here. I also work for Amsterdam Genetics, which is the brand of Boerenjongens. We also have a very nice seed line. Take a look at the website. We have the merchandise. Yeah, from the coffee shop. Yeah, I think we are coffee shop 2.0 in Amsterdam. What we do is totally different. It's classy. The music is now off, but usually in this smoke lounge you can only smoke pure. But there's also some very classical music. It's like totally different than others. It's not smoky and reggae or hip hop. Downstairs they can have some other music, but in here it's very classic. Yeah, a coffee shop is sometimes not wanted in an area, still in Amsterdam, because you have people there living that are not born in Amsterdam. So we want to show that we are different. We keep the neighborhood safe. Everybody that is parking in the wrong way, we say, hey, please, can you park your car over there and everything. So that is what we do different, beside the quality. We are well known in Amsterdam and other areas in maybe in the whole world. People that really love to travel for cannabis, they must know this place. We focus on the quality itself. If there is an niche and not in the quality that we want, we can sell it. We don't want it. So yeah.
Do you find that you have mostly locals coming here, or like a good mix of tourists?
This shop is 60%, maybe 70% tourists.
Okay.
Because for the locals, they have to wait too long. In West, there is much more parking space. So in our other coffee shops in West, I think that's more locals, and we don't want to be too much international. We want to focus always on the locals as well.
We started this coffee shop like a family, because we got rules, but most of the rules is normal rules. We are really
Strict?
on the rules, like for our neighbors, for children under the age of 18, how people behave themselves socially, aggression. The good thing I think from what you guys want to do in Canada is for sure legalize it, because I think before the 90s, before the 1996, it was something I read about. It was 350, but before that we had owned like from 600 in Amsterdam.
600 coffee shops.
What happened in 1996? It was something like 350, and now it's about 170. Amsterdam is not only the tourist. Amsterdam is becoming really bigger. Yeah, this neighborhood became, I think, for sure about 150,000 more people only in this neighborhood. What happened now? Now are there 170 coffee shops. There are more people now living in Amsterdam, only living, without the tourists, because the tourists is going sky high at the moment now in Amsterdam. And there's now for us is much more problems, because we want to keep it safe for our neighbors, we don't want the traffic with it. But now in Amsterdam, even for my coffee shop owner, is not allowed to have more than 500 grams. It's even not allowed for me. You have to have, every day we have to fill up maybe 7-8 times. Not 500 grams, but when, like now, they sell 200 grams, okay, they bring 200 grams new one.
If I have to tell you very simple how it works, it's you can have 500 gram in a coffee shop. What they do, a coffee shop is like, okay, you are there, we don't want to really remove you because people want it. If we stop, if we close all coffee shops, it's going on an illegal way for sure. Everybody will still buy the cannabis, so they can't stop the use of cannabis. So they say, you are there, you may exist, you can only have 500 gram totally in your whole stock. If somebody grows it, it's illegal. If somebody transports it, it's illegal. If you walk here with a bag of weed, like 100 gram, and you bring it to the coffee shop and put it behind the counter, there it's legal if it's under the 500 rule.
Right.
But for the rest, it's illegal. Yeah, and for example, my mom, if she feels pain, she's not the type that wanted to smoke a joint, so she will use some oil. But the oil, to get the oil, extract, how you call it?
Extract.
To extract is an English word, we call it extraheren in Holland. To extract the oil is also illegal in Holland.
Oh, really?
Totally
Yeah, you said
illegal.
that,
So, yeah, we have it somewhere. Some people do it, make it. We're glad to do it, of course. Social clubs do it. Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger. So I hope in the future that they will also agree with that. Then maybe that you have to buy it in a pharmacy,
Yeah.
but that you can buy it.
And don't make it 510, because when we call it a hit team, when they come, they at that time they kick every customer out. They also tape the cameras because they don't want to give away their operation, and that they will count everything. And the penalty of having a larger stash than 500 grams is really high. I think when it happens 2 times, you can close.
Forever. Yeah, when more people are coming and living in Amsterdam, and there are lesser coffee shops, what happened with the coffee shops? They are still now in Amsterdam. But when you not is allowed to sell it on the back door, and is not allowed to have the amounts of grams what you sell a day, how do you can do business without being a criminal? I don't know. Wat is een goede goochelaar?
A good magician.
Yeah,
David Copperfield.
It's like David Copperfield. Falls down.
When you open the drawer, it's refilled.
And we always say you with our stock, which is a problem for us. It's very easy to compare it with a cafe, or with a cafe with only 6 types of beer, and from every beer he only can have 2 bottles. So every time one is sold, he has to run for another one to get it back, to get the stock complete.
No, I think you have to think about it. What can go wrong when you don't legalize it? When he thinks about that, then you know for sure, really for sure, you have to legalize it. Do it for the kids, do it for the smokers. It's better for the smokers, it's better for your health. There is nothing, but really nothing, stupider than not to legalize it. Because when you legalize it, you can make not only money on it, you can do research about this plant, and we got really a lot of plants for marijuana in this world. But I know about 2,000-3,000 now, I think, maybe more now, strains. And I think in every of this plant is something what people need. But in Holland, we didn't do it, and now we only did research about 3, and Alzheimer, they told now for sure it makes you better. People who doesn't sleep so well, it makes you better. That's why I always legalize it, because the only people who don't want to legalize is the pharmaceutical industry, because when we want to sleep, they want to give us pills. When we don't eat, they want to give us pills. When we get headaches, they want to give us pills. For people who never smoked, take it a little bit, try a little bit, and then you know why you have to legalize it. It's only love and peace.
and welcome back. So now that you've had a chance to see the coffee shop perspective, I was really happy that we got the chance as well to see this from the other side. So talking to Jasper, the mayor's spokesman, I got a totally different perspective on the issues here in Amsterdam in the coffee shops. He made a very, very clear distinction between local and national government. And here, they're actually trying very hard to maintain the coffee shop culture. And the problem is that it's the national government that is imposing all of these rules. There was a thing that was going to come around called the weed pass, and what it was going to mean is that you could only purchase weed with the weed pass, and you can only get the weed pass if you have a Dutch passport. And obviously that means that would make it so tourists can't buy anymore. And so the city council here was really scared about that, because that would mean if the tourists aren't able to buy from the coffee shops anymore, then the locals are going to buy the weed and they're going to sell it on the street. And so what they did was they went and they talked to the national government, and they arranged a deal where they would apply a number of extra regulations to try and keep it out of the hands of minors and things like that, and trade for allowing to be able to still sell to tourists. And that is where, according to Jasper, where the rules like the 250 meters from schools came and things like that, which are causing all the coffee shops to start shutting down. But for them, they said they were sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place, because it was either don't sell the tourists or have to close down some coffee shops because of the new regulations. I also talked to him about the back door, which you should have heard a bunch now from the coffee shops. And he was saying that they're actually trying to push hard right now to start an experiment to allow either coffee shops to grow or professionals to grow with a license, and allow the coffee shops to buy from them to sort of put an end to the back door. But like most of the problems, it seems to be coming from the national government. I think there are a number of lessons that we can learn as Canadians in our process of legalization. I think we should look towards Colorado as more of an example, with legalizing and regulating and allowing the sale in retail and allowing a proper supply chain to be set up. I think the biggest lesson to be learned here is the importance of a supply chain, so you don't end up with the situation here where you have coffee shops buying through a back door and where you can't really control it comes down to the coffee shops basically to ensure what they're selling is quality and safe. And whereas if it's regulated and controlled, then you can have an effect on that. You can make sure that there are rules and regulations for how it should be grown and how it should be transferred and things like that. But I still think it's a fantastic culture here. I think Amsterdam is actually one of my favorite places on this entire Europe venture. And if you guys find yourself here, not only should you visit the Stud and Amsterdam Genetics, because they're fantastic coffee shops and they're a little bit outside of the really touristy ones you find right in the center by Amsterdam Central. And yeah, you guys should definitely come out here. You should get involved. You should come see this beautiful city. This is Ryan, Trek196. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and there'll be plenty more videos like this coming out in the future. So thanks for watching.